hello everybody, and welcome to Ansonia High School. Actually, we're at Ansonia Middle School for an Ansonia High School basketball game. Twin Valley South, the Panthers, out of West Alexandria, Ohio, facing the Ansonia Tigers. Good evening, everybody, or good afternoon. I'm Mark Bixler. We're certainly glad to be with you here tonight from Ansonia. Let's get to the starting lineups. First off, for the Twin Valley South Panthers, Mandy Thomas, number 10. Number 12 is Holly Bowers. 24 will be Amanda Spratt. 34, Andrea Spratt. And 44, Carrie Sutton. For the host Ansonia Tigers, number 10, Yolanda Leah Cohey. Number 14, Emily Stahman. Number 30, Sarah Prescott. Number 32, Christina Hahn. And number 40, Jennifer Beckman. We expect to see a good basketball game. South enters tonight's game 6-3. Ansonia, on the other hand, on the downside, they're 3-8. But when you look at some of the opponents the Tigers have had, if you're the Twin Valley South Panthers, you better be a little wary of the Tigers. Most of their non-conference opponents have been out of the Midwest Athletic Conference, one of the top conferences in the state as far as girls athletics goes. So if you're a Panther fan, you better be a little on the wary side of the Tigers. Already one turnover. Bowers, a turnover, could not get that to drop. And the basket is good, giving South a 2-0 lead here tonight. It'll be Tiger ball. They'll put it in play underneath their own basket. Sarah Prescott will put it in play for the Tigers. Stahman, the long-range jumper from the right side, will not go. The rebound is to Thomas. Thomas gets it to Amanda Spratt. A near turnover, and in fact a turnover, as Andrea Spratt, trying to save that ball, could not. The turnover gives it to Ansonia. Stahman again putting it in play for the Tigers. We're just underway, 2-0, Twin Valley South leading this. Beckman to Hahn. Hahn lays it up a little strong, would not drop. The Panthers, Amanda Spratt with it out top now. Spratt goes right side underneath to Carrie Sutton, lays it up and good. And South off to a 4-0 lead here tonight. Tigers having some problems with the pressure, but they do get it across as Prescott gives it to Stahman. Stahman takes it right side. That is Prescott on the wing. Out top it goes to Hahn. Hahn, that is Cohey, fires, it's good. And a whistle and a foul inside. It goes against Prescott. Count the basket. So the Tigers cut the lead in half. It's 4-2. Pass inside to Sutton. Sutton, the baseline, cannot get it to go. Bowers fights for the rebound, gets it, dishes it out to Thomas. The basket will not count. Thomas nailed the little wing jumper from the right side, but 3 seconds to call. The turnover nullifies the basket. Spratt picks up the ball. That's Amanda Spratt. The baseline jumper won't go. Sutton nearly had the rebound, but it was knocked out of her hands, and Thomas comes up with a loose ball, putting it back. South has a 6-2 lead. A reach-in foul, that's going to go against Andrea Spratt. Panthers up, as we said, by 4 right now, 6-2. Stahman puts it in play to Cohey. Right side, that's Beckman. In the lane, cannot get it to drop. Sutton with the rebound for the Panthers. Amanda Spratt across the midcourt stripe, goes right side wing. That's Andrea, or check that, Thomas. Amanda Spratt with the ball, right side. Thomas, low post, Sutton cannot get it to drop. Thomas grabs the rebound out to Spratt. Amanda Spratt. The turnaround by Sutton will not drop. Loose ball. Andrea Spratt. And I believe that was Thomas who could not get it to go, and a whistle and a foul. It goes against Bowers. Still a 6-2 ball game. Panthers leading it by 4. Stammen gets it across to Prescott. She races toward the hole. Beckman could not get the basket. Here come the Panthers. Bowers, the left side, back out. For 3, it's good. And it's a 9-2 lead for the Panthers. Up by 7. Prescott to Stammen, and they'll slow it down now. First quarter of play. We're underway here this afternoon. Beckman couldn't get it. The putback, and she is fouled. She'll go to the line, should get a pair. A chance to trim this to a 5-point game. They're down by 7 right now. The Tigers 9-2. Just under 4.5 minutes. 4:25 remaining here in this opening quarter of play. Beckman's first free throw is good. It's a 9-3 ball game. She'll go to the line, an opportunity to make it a 5-point game. Free throw is on the way, and it is good. 9-4, Panthers leading it right now. Amanda Spratt to Mandy Thomas. Thomas gives it up to Spratt. Right wing jumper will not go. A little long. Off the iron underneath the Sutton. Off of Sutton. It'll be Tiger ball. They'll put it in play under the south basket. Prescott gives it to Stammen. Stammen works her way across the midcourt stripe. Underneath, lays it up and good. That is Hahn. And the Tigers have trimmed it to a 9-6 lead. Thomas lays it up and good. 11-6 now. Panthers by 5 once again. Cohee. Tigers with the turnover. Panthers will put it in play. Sutton will put it in play for the Panthers. Amanda Spratt. Tigers applying some full court pressure. Thomas, they beat it. And it goes off of Ansonia. It will be Panther ball. Sutton takes the inbounds pass. Amanda Spratt rather, now with it. Andrea Spratt, and we have a violation. An illegal pick is called against Carrie Sutton. So the Tigers will put it in play, down by 5. Prescott goes in, and she's going to be called for a charge. Good call by the official as the Panther defender was right there, did not move. And the turnover gives it back to the Panthers. Quickly ahead, they try to get it to Bowers, but it's a little too much of a lead, and they give it back to the Tigers. Stammen will put it in play. Several substitutions entering the game here right now for both teams. Stammen, Jennifer Peters in the game for the Tigers right now. Makes the inbounds pass. Cohee up the left side, and Sutton steps in. Her pass intended for Angela Tobey. Andrea Spratt with the ball. Underneath to Sutton, the low post, gets it to drop. And suddenly it's a 13-6 game. Underneath, Bowers a little strong, and Amanda Spratt couldn't get it to go, and a whistle and an over-the-back call. Goes against Jill Leedy. Tigers behind by 7 right now, and a near turnover. In fact, a turnover, and that foul is... Well, they call over and back, and I'm not sure. I thought that that ball was tipped. No call on the three-point attempt. No good. Loose ball, and the Panthers, Bowers comes up with it. She fires it up, will not drop. Sutton the putback. And the Panthers are on a 6-0 run right now. A timeout taken by the Tigers. 15-6 is the score. Twin Valley South leading Ansonia.
This event brought to you by the Made Right Sandwich Shop at 125 North Broadway in Greenville. The Ansonia Lumber Company, 300 South Main Street in Ansonia. Greenville National Bank in Greenville, Ansonia, Gettysburg, Arcanum, and Bradford. Cox Insurance Agency, RB Cox Agency in Ansonia, Vinoy Cox Insurance Agency in Greenville. Homestretch Sportswear in St. Henry and Wapakoneta. By Montage Cafe on South Broadway in Greenville. Oliver Funeral Home, Greenville's only locally owned funeral home. McCabe Painting Incorporated, professional service with guaranteed satisfaction. By Osgood State Bank, with locations in Osgood, Fort Laramie, Chickasaw, and Lakeview. Family Health of Darke County, located in Greenville, Versailles, Arcanum, and New Madison. By State Farm Insurance, your local agent Jim Gable, East Main Street in Greenville. And by M. Bixler Video Productions. For more information on underwriting, contact us.
2:09 is what remains here in this opening quarter of play. It's a 9-point lead for the Panthers. Stammen. It's Toby in the paint. Hahn, the runner off the glass, does not go. Leedy the rebound. Andrea Spratt with the ball. Out top it goes to Amanda Spratt. Bowers, low post to Sutton. Andrea Spratt. Out top to Amanda Spratt. Bowers on the baseline, Leedy back to Bowers. Looks inside, they'll bring it back out top. Left side, that's Andrea Spratt. Amanda Spratt, rather. I believe that was Andrea Spratt trying to put up the shot. It would not go, and another turnover by Ansonia. Gives it back to the Panthers. Still a 15-6 score. Twin Valley South by 9. Sutton will put it in play for the Panthers. We're still in the opening quarter of play. Amanda Spratt underneath to Leedy. Pulls it in, goes back to Sutton. The baseline jumper is good. Lead is 11. Stammen puts it in play to Cohey. Back to Stammen. Bowers applying full court pressure, and another turnover. The Tigers having a lot of problems here in this opening quarter handling the pressure that South is putting on them. Kelly Hamilton in the ball game, and now it's a 13-point lead. It's a 10-0 run. 19-6 is the score as Sutton bats Cohey's pass out of bounds. Stammen works it across the midcourt stripe. Right side it goes. That's Toby for three. Leaves it a little short. Sutton with the rebound and a reach-in foul. Goes against Hahn, I believe. It'll be a common foul. Indeed, the foul goes against Hahn. Quickly down court. The Panthers lost it out of bounds, but it's off of Ansonia, so it remains with the Panthers. As we said, it is a 19-6 lead. Spratt with the ball out top. Loose ball, and we have a jump ball. Panthers retain possession on the alternating possessions. Lady puts it in play. That's Hamilton. Now with the ball, Spratt. Spratt to Lady. They look inside to Sutton, but not there. The runner will not go. Bowers, the putback, it's in and out. Another rebound, that by Spratt, would not go, and traveling is called. The long shot at the buzzer is nowhere near close. We've completed one quarter of play, and South on a 10-0 run right now leads it by 13, 19-6.
This event brought to you by the Made Right Sandwich Shop at 125 North Broadway in Greenville. The Ansonia Lumber Company, 300 South Main Street in Ansonia. Greenville National Bank in Greenville, Ansonia, Gettysburg, Arcanum, and Bradford. Cox Insurance Agency, R.B. Cox Agency in Ansonia, Vinoy Cox Insurance Agency in Greenville. Homestretch Sportswear in St. Henry and Wapakoneta. By Montage Cafe on South Broadway in Greenville. Oliver Funeral Home, Greenville's only locally owned funeral home. McCabe Painting Incorporated, professional service with guaranteed satisfaction. By Osgood State Bank, with locations in Osgood, Fort Laramie, Chickasaw, and Lakeview. Family Health of Darke County, located in Greenville, Versailles, Arcanum, and New Madison. By State Farm Insurance, your local agent, Jim Gable, East Main Street in Greenville. And by M. Bixler Video Productions. For more information on underwriting, contact us.
Well, the Tigers with possession to start this second quarter of play. They're down by 13. Toby with the ball on the far right side wing. Underneath to, that was Peters. Her shot would not go. Spratt fires from the right wing. Could not get it to go. That's Andrea Spratt. Her putback is good. And it's a 21-6 lead. So the lead is now 15. Toby on the far side, looks inside, nothing there though. Now tries to go baseline, fires it out. That's Peters. Peters from the free throw line, bounces off, will not go. Hamilton the rebound for the Panthers. Amanda Spratt with the ball out top. Left side it goes to Andrea Spratt. Pass inside, knocked away by Caney, intended for Hamilton. Andrea Spratt trying to get it inside, but could not. Panthers will put it in play. That's Andrea Spratt, gives it to Amanda Spratt out top. Right side, that is Thomas. Thomas goes baseline to Amanda Spratt. Low block to Andrea Spratt, back out to Amanda Spratt. Her shot won't go. The rebound, the long one to Stammen. Stammen pulls up now, right side wing. Toby. Angela Toby looks inside, nothing there. Now they'll fire it back out to Cohey. Cohey tries to get it into Caney, but cannot. That's Carla Caney. Left side, it is Spratt. Thomas, her wing jumper will not go, and a reach in is going to be called against Hamilton. Still a common foul. And still a 21-6 lead for the Panthers. Prescott maybe got by with a double dribble. Prescott tries for the rebound. It slips through her hands. Andrea Spratt with the ball right side. It goes to Hamilton. Back to Spratt. She fires for three. Will not go. Prescott grabs the rebound. Has it knocked out of her hands, but picks up the dribble. Stammen goes left side to Prescott. Prescott tries to get it into Beckman, but kicking the ball is called, so it'll stay with the Tigers. Amanda Spratt check that. That's Toby. Puts the ball in play. Wrong team. I do that every once in a while. Prescott in the lane underneath to Caney, lays it up, rolls off. Beckman, the putback, can't get it to go. Prescott with the rebound, and the Tigers finally get off that 6. 21-8. Bowers. That shot would not go, and here come the Tigers. Bowers is going to be called for the foul. The shot will not count, nowhere near. Once she took the shot, the foul took place. But it will be a 1-and-1. .442 is what remains here. First free throw is good. Well, after a 12-0 run, the Tigers now have answered with 3 straight. Make that 4. 21-10. Panthers now by 11. The Tigers have trimmed a 15-point lead to the 11. Bowers tries to take it inside, but Caney batted away, but Sutton was the last player to touch it. So the Tigers will put it in play, a chance to trim into this lead, put it under into single digits actually. Again, the Panthers applying full court pressure. Prescott, the Tigers beat it. Prescott lays it off the glass and good. And the Tigers now on a 6-0 run. They're putting together a run of their own right now. 21-12, and another turnover. Gives it back to Ansonia. Stammen will put it in play. Well, a near turnover, in fact it is Bowers. And now we have Bowers trying to go up, but she was held getting their hand in there was Stammen and Caney. And a jump ball, and again it stays with the South Panthers. They'll put it in play underneath their own basket. Leading it by 9, 21-12. Sutton in the paint, fires it up off the glass, a little too strong. Toby, the rebound, quickly out to Prescott, and we have a technical foul called. And I have a feeling, I had a feeling it might have been something that was said. So the Tigers now with an opportunity to dip into this even more. Toby's first free throw is good. It's 21-13. The second free throw is in and out and will not drop, but the Tigers now on a 7-0 run and a chance to make it a 9-0 run. Remember, they trailed 9-6 when South went on a 12-0 run, giving them a 21-6 lead. But now Ansonia has returned that with a 7-0 run, trimming it to an 8-point game. And Prescott looked to go in the paint, but Spratt reached in and took it away. And Andrea Spratt. Thomas with the ball, the runner, the left side of the free throw line, cannot get it to drop. The rebound is to Toby. Toby works her way across midcourt. Prescott back to Toby. Out top it goes to Stammen. Stammen right side. Prescott fires, leaves it strong for three, and Beckman's going to be called for a pushing off. (21-13). Remember, early on in this quarter, it was 21-6. So the Tigers have gotten a touchdown, trimming it to an 8-point game. They went on a 6-0 or 7-0 run. For three, at the top of the key, would not go. Andrea Spratt. Caney grabs the rebound, and she is fouled. That goes against Hamilton. Will walk the length of the court. 2:43 remaining. And I believe it's a 1-and-1. I don't think they're in the double bonus yet. Caney's free throw is in and out. The rebound is to, I believe that was Toby. And suddenly it's a 6-point game, 21-15. Spratt across court to Bowers, a little strong. Caney the rebound. Prescott inside. The pass intended for, check that, it was not. That was Christy. I believe Christy Martin, if I'm not mistaken. That is in the ball game now, that had that putback just moments ago. It might have been Toby. Toby has whistled for a blocking foul there. Six-point lead is still a common foul, so the Panthers not at the free throw line yet. Spratt puts it in play. Hamilton. Whistle, and traveling is going to be called. The turnover gives it back to the Tigers. Stammen. She might have got by with the traveling. That is Martin. Toby for three, will not go, and Hamilton grabs the board. Thomas pushes it up court, across the midcourt stripe. Spratt to Spratt. Amanda to Andrea. Loose ball. The Tigers' Toby comes out with it. A 2-on-1. Toby lays it off the glass, and it's a 4-point game. 21-17. The Tigers on a 11-0 run right now, trimming it to a 4-point game. It was 9-6, as we said, when South went on a 12-0 run. But Ansonia has answered with a run of their own, 11-0, 21-17. Tigers down by 4. Bowers from the right side, the right elbow of the free throw line, nails it. And that ends the run. 23-17, the lead back to 6. Toby for 3 could not get it. Martin, check that, Caney to put back. Now Martin to put back, leaves it short. Amanda Spratt races up court now. Martin slows her down. Spratt at the top of the key, goes right side. That is Bowers. Bowers penetrates the lane, dishes it off to Spratt. The baseline jumper, Caney is going to be called for the foul. Hamilton trying to get that shot off. It'll be a 2-shot foul. I believe it was Hamilton. I don't know what exactly happened, but when Carla Caney entered the ballgame, that made a difference. I don't know whether they matched up better size-wise or just exactly what, but that is when basically Ansonia started to make their move. 23-17 is the score. Hamilton's first free throw would not go. The second is in and out. The rebound is to Martin. Martin quickly ahead to Toby. Spratt intercepts the pass to Stahman, lays it off the glass. Will not go. The rebound was to Toby. And she is okay, but I think a scary moment for her. Just coming off a broken ankle. Going for that loose ball. 8.1 seconds is all that remains here in the first half. 23-17 is the score. The Tigers, Toby, a chance to trim into it even more. Get it back down to 4. She will not get it back down to 4. Can she get it back down to 5? No, she can't. And the ball is out of bounds. Tigers with another chance. Caney. And they lose it out of bounds. Sutton will put it in play for the Panthers. Well, no, she won't. It'll be Amanda Spratt, rather. Loose ball, and Stahman shot off, but not nearly in time. We have reached halftime with the score, Twin Valley South 23, Ansonia 17.
This event brought to you by the Made Right Sandwich Shop at 125 North Broadway in Greenville. The Ansonia Lumber Company, 300 South Main Street in Ansonia. Greenville National Bank in Greenville, Ansonia, Gettysburg, Arcanum, and Bradford. Cox Insurance Agency, R.B. Cox Agency in Ansonia, Vinoy Cox Insurance Agency in Greenville. Homestretch Sportswear in St. Henry and Wapakoneta. By Montage Cafe on South Broadway in Greenville. Oliver Funeral Home, Greenville's only locally owned funeral home. McCabe Painting Incorporated, professional service with guaranteed satisfaction. By Osgood State Bank, with locations in Osgood, Fort Laramie, Chickasaw, and Lakeview. Family Health of Darke County, located in Greenville, Versailles, Arcanum, and New Madison. By State Farm Insurance, your local agent Jim Gable, East Main Street in Greenville. And by Bixler Video Productions. For more information on underwriting, contact us.
Well, the Tigers with possession to start this third quarter. We're in the final half of play right now. Ansonia down by 6. Prescott tries to get it inside, but it's deflected away. Now they go to Hahn. A nice power move, lays it up and good. (23-19) is the score. In the paint, Andrea Spratt. It's tipped away by Hahn, but Bowers comes up with a loose ball. Amanda Spratt. Cohey tips the ball away as she tried to pass it. Spratt fires, cannot get it to go, and it's out of bounds. It should be off of the Tigers. It'll stay with the Panthers. 4-point game right now, 23-19. That is Spratt, cannot get the basket to drop. Beckman grabs the rebound, gives it up to Stahman, and she'll work it across the midcourt stripe. Prescott looks inside, but nothing there. Hahn with it, right elbow, the free throw line. Now lays it off the glass. Hahn has went to work here in the second half, and they have trimmed it to a 23-21 ball game. Long range jumper will not go. Hahn grabbed the rebound, got it to Cohey. Now Stahman with it across the midcourt stripe. And traveling is called against the Tigers. The turnover back to the Panthers. Bowers puts it in play to Amanda Spratt. 2-point lead for the Panthers. They once led it 21-6. And that off, I believe that was off of Prescott, so it'll stay with the Panthers. But since leading at 21-6, the Panthers have been outscored 15. And they score a basket there. Beckman could not get it to drop. And a jump ball. But since being having a 21-6 lead, South has been outscored 15-4. They lead it by 4 right now. They have the ball. Bowers right side. Out top it goes to Andrea Spratt. Spratt takes it left side now. Underneath the turnaround Thomas. She is fouled by Hahn. And I say with the body. But honestly, I didn't think she moved her body. It was the offensive player that jumped into her, and she did have her hands pretty much straight up. Well, the free throw does not go. Thomas is first. She'll get another, though. Chance to make this a 5-point game. Cannot. The rebound, the long rebound out to Prescott. Prescott gives it to Stahman. Stahman across midcourt. Prescott in the lane, pulls up for the jumper, rattles around, won't go. Beckman pulls down the board, takes it out to the wing, right side. Stahman inside to Hahn. Hahn, the nice power move, got it to drop, and she's fouled. (25-23). Christina Hahn at the line. A chance to make this a 1-point game. 5:33 is what remains. 25-23 South. She cannot. The rebound is to the Panthers, Carrie Sutton. Thomas pulls up. It is blocked by Hahn and knocked out of bounds. It will be Ansonia ball. Well, the Tigers now with an opportunity to take the lead if they hit a 3 or tie it with a 2. Traveling is called against the Tigers. Panthers will put it in play under their own basket, leading it by a pair. For three, it's good. Well, that gives South a 5-point lead again, 28-23. Hahn lays it up and good. Back to a 3-point game, 28-25. Spratt. And she is going to be called for dragging that pivot foot. Traveling called. The Tigers with an opportunity to tie it, but you have to think that more than likely a better chance to make it a 1-point game. The turnover, the traveling gives it back to South. (28-25). South by 3. Bowers in the lane, dishes it off to Andrea Spratt. She fires for 3 and gets it. The lead is 6, 31-25. Beckman lays it up, will not go. Sutton grabs the rebound, gives it to Spratt. Amanda Spratt across midcourt. Underneath Bowers, a little strong. The rebound to Beckman. Stahman with the ball now across midcourt to Prescott. Hahn lays that off the glass as she goes baseline, makes it a 4-point game again. Well, the Tigers hanging in there, although South nailing a couple threes to kind of spread out the points again. 31-27 the score right now. Sutton off the glass, leaves it short. Spratt, the putback is good. And the lead again is 6, 33-27. Sutton gives it to Hahn, has it blocked by Sutton. South a chance to expand it to an 8-point game again. Actually, a chance to make it a 9-point game. Spratt, the putback is good, and it is an 8-point game again, 35-27. Prescott gives it to Hahn. The pull-up jumper rattles short. Going to hit off the iron, the front part, the back part of the iron toward the glass. Stahman could not get it to go, and Sutton grabbed the rebound quickly to Amanda Spratt. Thomas pulls up, now brings it back out. That's Amanda Spratt. Cross court to Andrea. Bowers off the glass, in and out. Thomas grabs the rebound. The 2-pointer gives South a 10-point lead, 37-27. Hahn lays it off the glass, good. The Tigers get it back to single digits, 37-29. Spratt, Amanda Spratt, gives it to Andrea Spratt. That is Bowers, back to Andrea Spratt. In the paint, her shot is blocked, gets it back, and they're going to call traveling. The lead is 8, 37-29. The Tigers hoping for a chance to dip into this lead a little more. They did have it down to 2 a couple times, but South at that time then outscored the Tigers as that trims it to 6, 37-31. Baseline jumper, rims out. Hamilton the rebound, dishes it out. And the bucket is good, back to an 8-point game. They outscored the Tigers 12-4 to take a 10-point lead. Right now it's 8. Caney cannot get it. Hahn the putback, and she is fouled. Hamilton with that foul, and Hahn goes to the line getting a pair. And I believe the Tigers take this timeout, and actually a good one. As Hahn tugging on those shorts. (39-31) is the score. A 20-second timeout taken right here. South leading it by 8. And one time early in the second quarter, they led it 21-6. Ansonia then had an opportunity. They got it down to 21-17. Had an opportunity to make it a 2-point game, but South answered before the end of the half as Hahn's first free throw rims in and out. South expanded it to 23-17 at halftime, but then the Tigers narrowed it to 23-21 early on in the third quarter, and in fact trailed 25-23 before South made it a 27-17 score. Tigers will have the ball after that turnover. Right now it's 39-32. Peters puts the ball in play. Prescott back to Peters. Toby underneath. Hahn off the glass, does not go. Peters the putback, it's good. 5-point game again, 39-34. Spratt, or rather Andrea Spratt. Thomas takes it right side to Bowers. Out top to Andrea Spratt. Underneath to Hamilton, leaves it short, got the putback, and now tries to dish it back out. Loose ball, and we have a held ball, and it'll stay with South. No, check that, it goes to Ansonia with 11.6 seconds remaining. A steal, underneath it goes to Bowers, cannot get it to drop, loose ball. Peters comes out with it. The long shot at the buzzer down to, I believe that was Caney, and she is fouled. She'll go to the line getting a pair. She was fouled as the buzzer sounded. That makes it a 4-point game, a chance to make it 3. No one out there with her. Well, she was on the line. The bucket, the free throw will not count. It had been trimmed to 3, but it will not count.
This event brought to you by the Made Right Sandwich Shop at 125 North Broadway in Greenville. The Ansonia Lumber Company, 300 South Main Street in Ansonia. Greenville National Bank in Greenville, Ansonia, Gettysburg, Arcanum, and Bradford. Cox Insurance Agency, R.B. Cox Agency in Ansonia, Vinoy Cox Insurance Agency in Greenville. Homestretch Sportswear in St. Henry and Wapakoneta. By Montage Cafe on South Broadway in Greenville. Oliver Funeral Home, Greenville's only locally owned funeral home. McCabe Painting Incorporated, professional service with guaranteed satisfaction. By Osgood State Bank, with locations in Osgood, Fort Laramie, Chickasaw, and Lakeview. Family Health of Darke County, located in Greenville, Versailles, Arcanum, and New Madison. By State Farm Insurance, your local agent Jim Gable, East Main Street in Greenville. And by Bixler Video Productions. For more information on underwriting, contact us.
We are in the fourth quarter. Rebound to the Tigers. Prescott holds it back out. Boy, baseline jumper would not go. Hamilton, check that. That's Lady with the rebound. Bowers with it out top, left side. Lady back to Bowers. Tipped away, and Toby deflected the ball away. Toby got it to Peters, and traveling is called. So the turnover gives it back to South. Bowers with the ball out top left side. It's deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with South. Andrea Spratt back to Amanda Spratt. That's Sutton on the low post. She is fouled. (39-35). South leading it by 4. Sutton an opportunity to extend the lead right now. Cannot. She gets another chance though. Cannot get either free throw, but the Panthers grab the rebound. Bowers across court to Andrea Spratt. Whistle. Prescott called for the foul, a common foul. Bowers gives it to Leedy, back to Bowers to Leedy. That's Spratt from the free throw line, can't get it to drop. Hahn grabs the rebound. Stahman could not get the three to drop. South across midcourt, gives it to Amanda Spratt. Leedy. That is Bowers. Right side it goes to Andrea Spratt. She fires from 3. Could not get it to drop. Prescott grabs the rebound. He'll pull it up. Gives it to Stahman. Left side it goes to Toby. Back to Stahman. Toby for 3. Leaves it short. Prescott the putback. Will not go. Sutton loses the ball. Caney couldn't get it to drop. Sutton finally comes up with it and dishes it off to Andrea Spratt to Amanda Spratt. Now Leedy fires from the left side and it rolls around and finally through. (41-35). The lead is 6. Toby pulls up for the jumper, good. Lead back to 4, 41-37. Leedy gives it up to Bowers. Bowers left side and a foul, a reach in. It's going to go against Toby. Beckman returns to the game, replacing Carla Caney. Still a common foul, so the Panthers will put the ball in play in front of the scorers table. 41-37, South by 4. Bowers for the Panthers with the ball and a near turnover. Spratt pulls up for the jumper in the paint, can't get it to go. Bowers pulls up, left side wing, won't go. Sutton grabs the rebound, puts it up, and traveling is called, or is it? No. I think what got her was she dipped that shoulder. And just about every time when you dip a shoulder and make a move, you're going to be called for an offensive foul. Amanda Spratt with the foul. Stahman has the ball out top. Fakes, and she's going to be called for traveling. .429 remaining. Amanda Spratt, top of the key. Maybe got by with a travel, but no call. It's deflected. Bowers comes out with it. Sutton back to Spratt, lays it off the glass and good. The lead back to 6. Stahman, and she is going to be, well, was it? The foul goes against Bowers. Still a common foul, though. Panthers applying some full court pressure. The ball is tipped. It's out of bounds. It'll stay with Ansonia, though. 43-37. Tigers down by 6, trying to trim into this. Stahman with the ball out top. Oh, that was Toby. Stahman fires it, and we have an over-the-back call. It's going to go against Hahn. Still a 6-point game. That is tipped, loose ball, and it is out of bounds off of South. 3:44 remaining, 43-37. Sutton puts it in play, the long pass, and laid up and good. And that gives South an 8-point lead again, 45-37. Toby fires for 3, will not go. The putback by Hahn is there. And she gets it to drop, and again, the lead trimmed to 6. Sutton cannot get it to drop. She will go to the line getting a pair. Now 3:09 remaining, 45-39, South by 6. First is good, 46-39. Second free throw is good as well. The lead back to 8. Toby, and she goes down the right side. She is fouled. Sutton picks up the foul. Check that. It was not Sutton. It was Spratt. Well, he said 44, but apparently said 24. Amanda Spratt as Toby at the free throw line. Cannot get the free throw. Sutton grabs the rebound. Spratt, that is Lady, and it will not go. Beckman, a nice job saving it to Toby. Down to Hahn. Hahn lays it off the glass and good. And the lead is back to 6. 47-41 will walk the length of the court. The foul against the Tigers. Toby whistled for that foul. Still a lot of time left. 2:39 is what remains. 47-41 South. They lead this over the Tigers of Ansonia. We're at Ansonia Middle School. By the way, my name is Mark Bixler. We're certainly glad to be with you here tonight from Ansonia. That free throw will not go. Beckman grabs the rebound. Toby pulls up, could not get it to drop. We have a held ball leading in Beckman, and it stays with the Tigers. So Ansonia, an opportunity here to trim into this lead even more. Beckman, a good job of staying away from that ball. You could tell she wanted to go after it and thought, no, I better not. Prescott puts it in play. Stammen, baseline, pulls up for the jumper, good. 47-43. The lead trimmed to 4. Thomas with the ball out top, right side now. On the wing. Gives it up to Spratt. Andrea Spratt, now Amanda Spratt with the ball, left side top. Out top to Thomas, they set it up again. A minute 56 remaining. 4-point game, 47-43. Thomas at the line getting the 1 in bonus. First is good. The lead is now 5, 48-43. Second free throw will not go. The rebound is to the Tigers. Hahn gives it to Stammen. Stammen up the right side. That's Toby in the lane. Fires short. The rebound to the Panthers. That foul goes against Stammen, and now the Panthers are in the double bonus. That is the 10th team foul against the Tigers. Amanda Spratt at the free throw line. The first is good. 49-43. The second falls through, making it a 50-43 ball game. Stammen leaves it short, and who has it? South, but traveling is called. That gives it to the Tigers underneath their own basket. Down by 7 right now, 50-43. Prescott puts it in play. The give is to Stammen. Hahn cannot get it to drop. The loose ball, Beckman comes up with it. Baseline jumper is good. The lead now 5, 50-45. Again applying full court pressure. Ball's tipped. The Tigers with the steal. Stammen in the lane, fires, leaves it short. The putback by Toby is good. And it's now a 3-point game, 50-47. Well, things suddenly have gotten interesting. Panthers trying to take time off the clock right now. Hahn has whistled for the foul. Hamilton will go to the line with 46.5 seconds remaining. Darcy Robinson wants to take a timeout here.
This event brought to you by the Made Right Sandwich Shop at 125 North Broadway in Greenville. The Ansonia Lumber Company, 300 South Main Street in Ansonia. Greenville National Bank in Greenville, Ansonia, Gettysburg, Arcanum, and Bradford. Cox Insurance Agency, RB Cox Agency in Ansonia, Vinoy Cox Insurance Agency in Greenville. Homestretch Sportswear in St. Henry and Wapakoneta. By Montage Cafe on South Broadway in Greenville. Oliver Funeral Home, Greenville's only locally owned funeral home. McCabe Painting Incorporated, professional service with guaranteed satisfaction. By Osgood State Bank, with locations in Osgood, Fort Laramie, Chickasaw, and Lakeview. Family Health of Darke County, located in Greenville, Versailles, Arcanum, and New Madison. By State Farm Insurance, your local agent Jim Gable, East Main Street in Greenville. And by Bixler Video Productions. For more information on underwriting, contact us.
Hamilton's first free throw, in and out. She'll get another. It is on the way, and it won't go as well. Hahn with the rebound, gets it to Stammen, and Stammen will work it across midcourt. Toby, and double dribble is called. So a big break for South. They get the ball back on the turnover. The long pass down court to Spratt. They bring it back out. Well, either Prescott or Stammen could have gotten that foul. Prescott has whistled for it. Thomas will go to the line with 29.8 seconds remaining. Thomas will get a pair. As we said, the Panthers are in the double bonus. Did not get the first one to drop. She'll get another, though. 50-47, South leading this. The second free throw is on the way, and it won't go either. Beckman with the rebound to Prescott, and it is deflected out of bounds off of Prescott. So it will be South ball. The long pass is intercepted by Stammen. Toby for three will not go. And the basket is good. (50-49). 15.8 seconds remaining. Sarah Prescott at the line, the freshman, before she shoots, a timeout taken.
This event brought to you by the Made Right Sandwich Shop at 125 North Broadway in Greenville. The Ansonia Lumber Company, 300 South Main Street in Ansonia. Greenville National Bank in Greenville, Ansonia, Gettysburg, Arcanum, and Bradford. Cox Insurance Agency, RB Cox Agency in Ansonia, Vinoy Cox Insurance Agency in Greenville. Homestretch Sportswear in St. Henry and Wapakoneta. By Montage Cafe on South Broadway in Greenville. Oliver Funeral Home, Greenville's only locally owned funeral home. McCabe Painting Incorporated, professional service with guaranteed satisfaction. By Osgood State Bank, with locations in Osgood, Fort Laramie, Chickasaw, and Lakeview. Family Health of Darke County, located in Greenville, Versailles, Arcanum, and New Madison. By State Farm Insurance, your local agent Jim Gable, East Main Street in Greenville. And by Bixler Video Productions. For more information on underwriting, contact us.
As we said, 15.8 seconds is all that remains in this one, at least in regulation. 50-49, Prescott with an opportunity for the three-point play. She can tie it up right here. She does. And carrying the ball gives it back to South, or gives it back to Ansonia. The turnover against South. And now the Tigers want to take a timeout. They have an opportunity to tie this score, or to go ahead actually. The score is tied 50-50.
This event brought to you by the Made Right Sandwich Shop at 125 North Broadway in Greenville. The Ansonia Lumber Company, 300 South Main Street in Ansonia. Greenville National Bank in Greenville, Ansonia, Gettysburg, Arcanum, and Bradford. Cox Insurance Agency, RB Cox Agency in Ansonia, Vinoy Cox Insurance Agency in Greenville. Homestretch Sportswear in St. Henry and Wapakoneta. By Montage Cafe on South Broadway in Greenville. Oliver Funeral Home, Greenville's only locally owned funeral home. McCabe Painting Incorporated, professional service with guaranteed satisfaction. By Osgood State Bank, with locations in Osgood, Fort Laramie, Chickasaw, and Lakeview. Family Health of Darke County, located in Greenville, Versailles, Arcanum, and New Madison. By State Farm Insurance, your local agent Jim Gable, East Main Street in Greenville. And by Bixler Video Productions. For more information on underwriting, contact us.
13.1 seconds is all that remains, in regulation anyway. We are tied at 50. And 5 seconds to count. That gives it back to South. A long pass and the held ball. Who does it go to? South will get it. And actually a very good spot because they'll get it out underneath their own basket. And Darcy Robinson says, I want a timeout. .6 seconds, tied at 50.
This event brought to you by the Made Right Sandwich Shop at 125 North Broadway in Greenville. The Ansonia Lumber Company, 300 South Main Street in Ansonia. Greenville National Bank in Greenville, Ansonia, Gettysburg, Arcanum, and Bradford. Cox Insurance Agency, RB Cox Agency in Ansonia, Vinoy Cox Insurance Agency in Greenville, Homestretch Sportswear in St. Henry and Wapakoneta. By Montage Cafe on South Broadway in Greenville. Oliver Funeral Home, Greenville's only locally owned funeral home. McCabe Painting Incorporated, professional service with guaranteed satisfaction. By Osgood State Bank, with locations in Osgood, Fort Laramie, Chickasaw, and Lakeview. Family Health of Darke County, located in Greenville, Versailles, Arcanum, and New Madison. By State Farm Insurance, your local agent Jim Gable, East Main Street in Greenville. And by Bixler Video Productions. For more information on underwriting, contact us.
The inbounds pass, it is deflected. Still South ball. The inbounds pass, Thomas takes it. The runner at the buzzer does not go. We have completed regulation with the score all knotted up at 50 apiece.
This event brought to you by the Made-Right Sandwich Shop at 125 North Broadway in Greenville. The Ansonia Lumber Company, 300 South Main Street in Ansonia. Greenville National Bank in Greenville, Ansonia, Gettysburg, Arcanum, and Bradford. Cox Insurance Agency, RB Cox Agency in Ansonia, Vinoy Cox Insurance Agency in Greenville, Homestretch Sportswear in St. Henry and Wapakoneta. By Montage Cafe on South Broadway in Greenville. Oliver Funeral Home, Greenville's only locally owned funeral home. McCabe Painting Incorporated, professional service with guaranteed satisfaction. By Osgood State Bank, with locations in Osgood, Fort Laramie, Chickasaw, and Lakeview. Family Health of Darke County, located in Greenville, Versailles, Arcanum, and New Madison. By State Farm Insurance, your local agent Jim Gable, East Main Street in Greenville. And by Bixler Video Productions. For more information on underwriting, contact us.
Well, we go to the overtime now as it is a 4-minute period. Lady gives it to Sutton. Quickly down court. Bowers with the ball. Pulls up on the wing right side. We're knotted up at 50 apiece. Sutton lays it up and it rolls out. Toby pushes it up court. Prescott pulls up for the jumper. It's in and out. South with a chance to get the first points of this overtime again. Thomas with the ball out top. Pass deflected away. They tried to get it into Sutton, but Caney, fronting her, deflected it away. They tried to force it in when nothing was there. Hahn lays it off the glass, and the Tigers take their first lead of the night. (52-50), Ansonia by a pair right now. Cross court it goes to Spratt. She fires for three, leaves it short. Prescott grabs the rebound, gives it up to Stammen. Tried to go inside to Hahn. Hahn cannot get at the basket, and Caney comes crashing in the boards, and she commits the foul. Will walk the length of the court. A two-shot foul. 2:05 remaining, 52-50. Ansonia by a pair, but South with a chance to cut into that. Howard's first free throw will not go, off to the left side. Got the iron though. The second is on the way, and it won't go either. Hahn with the rebound. Toby across midcourt. Stammen in the paint. It goes to Hahn, and Hahn is going to be called for an offensive foul. And that is her fifth. Jennifer Beckman checks back into the lineup for the Tigers. Let's see how that affects this game. 52-50. Tigers up by a basket right now. And the Panthers throw it away. South undefeated in conference play at 4-0. Ansonia stands at 3-1. Cross court to Prescott, goes baseline, gives it up to Beckman. Beckman cannot get it to drop. Sutton grabs the rebound, gets it out to Andrea Spratt. Spratt up the right side. And the foul goes against Toby, kind of a touch foul. Not much contact, but nonetheless a foul called. And that is her fifth. I'll tell you what, it did not look like a whole lot of contact was made on that foul. And for a fifth foul, kind of a cheap one. A steal. The Panthers. And a foul is called against Stammen. A minute 18. South with a chance to take the lead. 52-51 is the score. Ansonia up by a point. Lady at the free throw line. The first is good. We're tied at 52. This could give South the lead. It does. 53-52, South by 1. Again, applying full court pressure. Cohey gets it across the midcourt stripe. That is Caney that gives the Tigers the lead again. Here comes South. It's tipped out of bounds. A minute 2 remains. 54-53, Ansonia over Twin Valley South. Thomas with the ball out top. Thomas goes left side. That's Bowers. That is Spratt. She fires the three. Will not go. The loose ball. Cohey comes out with it. Loose ball. Stammen comes up with it. Prescott gives it to Stammen. Cohee, and a reach-in foul. Check and see 34. That's Andrea Spratt with that foul. So with 26.9 seconds remaining, Beckman, the first free throw rattles around and will not go. It bounced around and off, and South with another chance to take the lead. Andrea Spratt in the lane, fires up. The leaner gets it to drop, and South with the 1-point lead. Prescott tries to get Beckman, right idea, but just barely overthrows it. And with 5.4 seconds left, if Beckman comes down with that, Ansonia gets 2 points and wins the ball game. And the foul goes against Caney, and I believe that is going to be it. They call the foul off and say that is the ball game. And indeed it is a final. Twin Valley South has held off Ansonia in overtime here, 55-54 in a thriller. Well, it's been enjoyable. Again, the final score in overtime, Twin Valley South 55, Ansonia 54. I'm Mark Bixler for M. Bixler Video Productions saying so long, everybody.